Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing immigration discretion and whether or not it's sort of expanding or contracting at this point. I've had a lot of people asking me about this. As a lot of people know, since going back to March 2020, where we've seen all this sort of everything kind of upended, in terms of how we live our lives and just dealing with immigration, dealing with visa matters. Everything just kind of went topsy-turvy over the past 2.5 years, roughly. And I've had a lot of people asking me, well, okay, things are kind of normalizing. Does that mean, internal immigration, immigration here in Thailand, does that mean they're going to become easier to deal with, harder to deal with? Are we looking at a sort of a return to what we were dealing with it going into the first quarter of 2020, which was a pretty stringent immigration system, quite frankly. I mean, they were taking much more of an enforcement approach with respect to immigration policy. And we saw a great deal of consternation, especially in the expat community, tightening up of rules regarding retirement visas, which we're actually seeing right now again. Other issues associated with things such as, going after people for working illegally, not allowing conversions of visa status. That's probably the biggest one. Prior to this March 2020 issue, where we saw the pandemic and then all the response to that and all the lockdowns and the country shut down, you couldn't get in and out easily. Yeah, immigration had expanded discretion to allow people to change from one visa category to another, et cetera, or extend status just based on extenuating circumstances. Now, extending status based on extenuating circumstances, I think we're probably going to see that fall by the wayside. But conversion in country is an interesting one. And for those who are unaware, we've discussed this many times in other videos, but the presumption in non-immigrant status is that one is not living in Thailand. And therefore, if one wishes to change status, they need to leave the country, get a new visa, come back in. So if you want to go from business visa status to retirement status, the general presumption in the past was, okay, you need to leave, get a retirement visa, come back in. Now, it's been, let's say, more straightforward to deal with a conversion over the past couple of years because of the expanded discretion of immigration given the circumstances. With that need ending, and especially presumably with the emergency decree coming to an end in October of 2022, will that same discretion remain? And I don't know the answer to that question. That said, if you are in a temporary status and you want to be in a more permanent status, now would be the time to do it, I think, because as we not only go past October with presumably the end of the emergency decree, and then we get into 2023, I think it's likely that we'll probably see less and less use of favorable discretion to keep people in Thailand as time goes forward. And that sort of policy of, hey, you need to leave and get a new visa, I think that's going to become more resurgent. Now, that said, I could be wrong, but based on past experience, that seems like the way that this will probably play out.